thewellnesscouch.com, streaming wellness into your lives. This is Up for a Chat with Cyndi O'Meara, Carren Smith, and Kim Morrison.
Here we are, up for a chat about the hottest topics that are important to you, inspiring you to awaken the change within. I'm Carren Smith.
I'm Kim Morrison.
And I'm here, Cyndi O'Meara. Okay, we won't do it again, I promise. Oh, dear.
So welcome to today's podcast, and it's going to be a really interesting one, actually, because we're talking all things menopause, all things old ladies, all things... Oh, I'm sorry, love. I'm sorry. I'm putting it out there. No,
she did, though.
I said it. I said it out loud. Yes, I did. But
so for the boys, you can either switch off.
No, I
say stay on. Stay tuned, because things change.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
And you want to know how to handle things, because let me tell you, fellas, it starts to get nasty.
And you'll be buying a lot of everyday body lotion. I'm just saying.
Oh, she
Really?
said it. Straight to the tart.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of it. I was thinking of other things.
They say
She
people
says
dry
it-
up. I'm saying I'll keep you there.
She's talking about everyday body lotion as lube.
Gosh, I just thought, does that help menopause? When we put moisturiser on it, will it stop the hot flashes?
Oh, no, you probably get quite hot when you...
Yeah, I realise what you're going on about. I know what you're going on
as you
about.
would. As you would.
Somebody's always got to go there, doesn't it? You know, and it's always you.
Well, it's a heavy topic. Thought we'd just lighten the load.
Good for you. Good. Nice, because I was getting cranky.
Menopausal?
Oh, well, actually, as a matter of point of fact, yes. Yes, I'm what they call perimenopausal, so it's prior to the menopausal stage.
And what does that look like?
Well, what that looks like is occasional, not often, occasional mood swings. I do get the hot flash. I do get the night sweat with the doona on, doona off, doona on, doona off, doona on, doona off, the doona dance, doona dance, doona
The doona dance?
Is that only in the summer or the winter?
No, I get it all year, and I wake up with pools of sweat on my chest. It's quite revolting.
So how long has this been happening?
About 2 years.
And
how old are you?
Put up with
I'm
it for
43.
And you put up with it for 2 years?
Do you
Doesn't
just
it
think
not
it's
annoy you?
It annoys me, but I kind of have... Well, okay, so in the beginning, I was at war with it. I was well and truly at war with it. And the reason that I've gone into menopause a little bit earlier, or perimenopause a little bit earlier, is because of my ovaries coming out. And also because of all of the stress that my body's
they're
going
gay?
on. What's that, sorry?
Your ovaries are coming out.
That's so funny. Oh, did you... I don't even know who you are.
I just heard it that way, and I went, they came out? Does that mean they're gay, the both of them?
You look so serious
I
at
thought
me.
that would stop you having menopausal problems if you've had your ovaries
No, because
out.
it affects the level of the hormone production in the body, you see.
Yeah, because your ovaries are the ones that are
regulate.
producing your estrogen and your progesterone and testosterone and all those beautiful things.
As long as a person's got their uterus, it's not quite so bad. But certainly having lost the ovaries, yes, it does have an impact. Yes, it does.
So what about people that have had a full hysterectomy? Do they go through menopause?
Well, they'd have to because they've got no way of bleeding anymore. So that's menopause. Menopause means pause of the menstrual cycle. Basically, it's stopped. Perimenopause means we're in the beginning of the end of the menstrual cycle.
Like it's Monty Python.
I think it is Monty Python.
Okay, so I'm not there yet. But I'm just wondering.
Isn't she horrible?
No, seriously, obviously a lot of women around me are going through it and things like that. So just give me a brief background. I mean, Cyndi, you and I were talking about this, and I was like, most women in our society suffer with some form of menopausal symptoms, being it flashing, mood swings, headaches, back pain, dryness, all of those sorts of things. What I'm saying, if so many people are having, is that not normal?
Well, like I just love Dr. Cheryl Salmon, and she wrote the book Hormone Heresy, and
Very good.
You know, we're told that it is a normal process. But I love the way she says this. She goes, but in Japan they have no word for menopause. In actual fact, they do have a new word for menopause, and it's called for hot flashes, I should say. They don't have they don't have a word for hot flashes. Sorry, and the word that they do use though when they do get hot flashes, because they're beginning to get them, is hot flash.
Just said quick.
They just don't have a Japanese word for it because they didn't get hot flashes. So I don't know if it's normal. Here they go. Hot flash.
Who are you kids today? Yous are just nuts. Oh, what did you say? I just said yous. Yous are just nuts.
Brilliant. Okay, so
why is it so bad now?
Japanese don't have it.
But apparently in history, the Japanese women did not have it. They're beginning to have it now because they're eating Western food. So has food got something to do with it? Or is it the fat that they're putting on that produces the hormones? It could be the nuclear fallout.
You are such on fire today. You're such a dag.
But yeah, just the fact that they call it a hot flash.
No. Yeah, go to that grunt. Carry on. Sorry.
You rendered us all to silence.
Do men have it? I'll bring it back.
I don't think so. Because they don't have a menses, therefore they can't pause it.
But hang five. I reckon they go out in sympathy. I reckon they go out in sympathy, meaning they have no idea what's going on, but they're grumpy anyway.
Poor buggers. They usually, by the time their wife's going through it, they've got teenage daughters going through puberty. So it's a bit of a tough time for them, really, isn't it? Man, I'm sorry, all you beautiful men out there. I apologise now in advance.
Absolutely, and I'm sorry for what Kim just said.
But I guess
I have to tell you this because this is so funny about the men. All right, so
because that was a really stupid question.
No, I'm just saying.
It was really, wasn't it?
No, but what I find really funny
through puberty.
What I find really funny at the moment is that for 30 years of my marriage,
they don't get it up very often at the end, so there must be something they go through. It's called erectile dysfunction. And they go through stuff as they get older. Is that their form of menopause?
Why are you looking at me? I don't know.
I think she's asking rhetorical questions, really. I really do. She's naughty. But what's really funny is I've been married 30 years, and for 30 years I'm cold and my husband's hot. So the doona's off for him and on for me. Or the window's closed for me, it's open for him. Or I need more clothes and he needs less clothes. Well, because I'm going through menopause too now. Mine started mid-September last year. And
how do you know? What happened?
Well, I just haven't had a cycle since mid-September, which has never ever happened in the history of my cycling since I was 16. So that's menopause. That's when my menses is paused.
So it's going to come back?
Well, I don't know. I've got 12 months.
Ceasopause.
So, well, it should be until you get that 12 months because apparently you have to wait 12 months before you can actually say you're through. It's finished, it's done. If you get it at 11 months, then you're not at menopause. You're actually you're back at peri and you're starting through menopause again. Yeah. So it must be for 12 months that you have no cycle whatsoever. But at the moment, after 30 years, we're now in the exact opposite position. I need all the windows open, all the fans on. I can be outside where normally I would have a jumper on. I don't need anything on. I just have this flimsy little thing on. So, I'm actually getting quite hot all the time. I'm quite warm most of the time. So I decided that I wanted to do something about it. I just thought, I'm not putting up with this. I don't know how, and I asked girlfriends, and they've been, like you said, 2 years. I don't know how you do it. It's only just started in the last 4 to 5, maybe 6 weeks for me. And it wakes me up at night. Nothing wakes me at night.
No, that's when I think the world is not right anymore.
No, it's not.
Cindy being woken. I mean, she slept in a yoga pose. I'm not saying Shavasana. I'm talking in the middle of a big hard pose. She fell asleep. So this woman sleeps. Okay, Okay, it's a very serious topic though, this, because a lot of women out there really struggle with it.
I think we've even had posts on our Facebook page asking for us to cover the topic.
Yeah. So can you just explain from a scientific point of view? Okay, you're saying to me that it pauses the menstrual cycle. I'm just interested in knowing why.
Does it pause?
Well, no, I know why it pauses, because we don't need to have babies anymore.
No, we run out of eggs. When you run out of eggs, you don't ovulate. Therefore, there's no reason for the endometrium to thicken with blood and then slough off.
So you're saying that women that go through early menopause, so there's women in their 30s that can go through menopause, they've run out of eggs. Is that what's done it?
Oh, well, look, there could be medical issues, but I'm talking about natural. Okay, natural, you're given so many eggs.
Is it true the minute we're conceived, if we're a girl, or I guess
you've got your eggs.
You've got your eggs and the exact number of eggs. So all of us have different numbers of eggs?
No, we all have approximately the same, because everybody cycles. Most people will cycle between, it could be 12 to 16, and it might go through till their 50s, and some women cycle into their 60s. So there's an average number of eggs. And for people who are losing, their cycle in their 30s and 40s, there's something definitely wrong, or they've been through IVF where they've pulled out 50 eggs at a time. I don't know. I don't really know the science behind IVF except that they throw hormones into you so that you keep ovulating and then all your eggs start to come out, and then they collect your eggs. They fertilise the eggs with the sperm and then put it back in your system. So it is all about your eggs. It's how many eggs do you have, and if you're not ovulating, there's no need to have periods. Although some people still continue to have a small period even when they've stopped the ovulation. But I know that right after my cycle, I ovulated really late, like a month, because I'm really
aware.
I've been taught how to do this. I was taught at a very young age, and I think a lot of our mums need to become educated so that we can teach our young girls that the pill isn't the only thing that we need to use. If you know your cycle, then you have total power of your body. Some people don't even realise they ovulate. They don't even know when they ovulate. They've been on the pill that long, and that's another thing. Let's go back in our youth now. Is that girls are being put on the pill at the age of 12 and 13 for skin issues. I can't imagine what that is doing to them.
It's insane.
It is insane.
Women that are put on the pill and they keep taking the pill so that they don't get a period, or you go on to that Mirena or the injection or any of those.
Implanon.
Any of those. So you're not going to ovulate, therefore you don't have a menstrual cycle. So those eggs, are they storing up?
Well, look,
is that a really dumb question?
No, it's not a silly question, and I probably can't answer that.
I can tell you a little bit about the Mirena. Not because I've had it, but I've got a family and friends who've got the Mirena in. It releases local progesterone. So it does actually stops
implantation. It doesn't actually. I don't think it stops ovulation. No. It stops implantation. So the egg may come through, and then if it gets fertilised, it can't implant so that it can survive. So it implants in the endometrium, and then the placenta grows, etc. But it cannot implant because the Mirena is like the IUD, except it's got a hormone releasing it, and it just irritates the uterus all the time, so that the body cannot implant a baby. It can't. It can fertilise a baby, but it's like an abortion. It's fertilised, but it can't survive because it can't implant.
I'm thinking we need to get Dr. Cheryl Selman on the show.
I would love Dr. Cheryl Selman.
And she's due back down under again. She comes back down every year. I think we need to email her so that we get more of the technical stuff. Because I'd hate for people to think that we were the experts in this. So what I'd love us to experience or to investigate here is what you're doing with the symptoms and the knowledge you have, what you're doing, so that you two go through all this shit before I get there. I'm not kidding.
You're not kidding at all.
I'm not kidding.
That was what this was all about.
Yeah.
the first book I ever read on menopause, it was long before I started to go into it, and it's quite funny. For 20 years, people are saying, please write a book on menopause, and I'm thinking, well, I haven't been through it. I don't understand what you're going through. I feel like I can't write a book unless I experience it, unless I understand it. Like I experience food because I'm eating it, but to write a book on menopause, I never experienced it. So it's probably good for all the people out there that have been asking me for 20 years to write a book on menopause.
It'll be out next year.
It'll be out. But this is my experience. It's nobody else's experience. But I remember the first book I ever read on it was called The Power of something. I can't remember. I don't remember the name of the author, but I remember reading it. It was about when a woman goes into menopause, they think it's the end of their life. Mm. But in actual fact, it's the beginning of their life because they've paid their debt to society. They have given all their eggs. They have born babies, if that's what they've done. They have done what they needed to do in order to propagate the species. Now it's their time to be free. And it's when progesterone becomes more dominant than estrogen. So estrogen is usually more dominant, but when we cycle, our progesterone and estrogen are going up and down. It's at ovulation. No, it's at ovulation, all the hormones are at their peak, and then they start to go down, and then what happens is you get your period, and then they start to peak up again at ovulation. So it's a cyclical thing. So when you go into menopause and you've got no more eggs, progesterone becomes the prominent hormone. That's why people take progesterone cream when they go through menopause, because they're estrogen dominant, not progesterone dominant. So progesterone dominance actually is youthing. And people just don't realise that. It actually becomes a youthing hormone for women who have paid their debt to society. They're now free as birds. Basically they're not going to get pregnant. They have no more debt to pay. They can live their life out as wise women or teachers or anything like that. Do you see? Like,
put out to pasture.
No, they're not put out to pasture.
You were having a real moment there.
She just put us out to pasture. We were just getting empowered then, weren't we?
Totally. I just saw all those happy cows that stopped doing the milking and they danced.
It's true, exactly. I guess it is. We're being put out to pasture to enjoy our lives and to live without a commitment to another child, except a grandchild, maybe.
Yeah.
Or grandbaby dogs.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly.
Grandpuppies.
Yeah.
So why has Kaz started at 41?
She hasn't got any ovaries.
And also it's hereditary. My mum started quite young.
But is it?
Well, apparently. I mean, who knows?
It might be that amount of eggs. Like, there's an average amount of eggs. It's like, pregnancy is average 9 months. It doesn't have to be right on. Like, this whole thing where, after 2 weeks, once you've hit 9 months and 2 weeks, they want to induce the baby because that's the medical science of it. But I know a woman that she said her gestation was 8 months. And there are some women who have a gestation that's 9.5 months, 10 months. Mm. And what I find really intriguing is that the French calculate their gestation differently to the Australians, which means that their gestation is 9.5 months, and then at 10 months is when they're thinking things are getting a little bit dangerous. So why are we at 9.5 months? It's really, I just find this whole thing of how many eggs do we have? And sometimes we might dispel 2 eggs, and that's when you get identical twins. Oh, no, that's not when you get identical twins. That's when you get fraternal twins. Fraternal twins.
Or identical.
No, identical is a splitting of an egg.
It's 1 egg split.
Beg your pardon.
And fraternal is 2 eggs are released. And then you get triplets, and some people have 8, Who knows? Like, you don't know how many eggs you're releasing at any one time, and it could be the strength of the estrogen that releases more. Who knows what it could be? It could be, we actually don't have a complete science behind that. They do know, though, if they give drugs, they can release more and more.
Okay, so do some women breathe through menopause?
Well, I think they do, because I hear they do. Well, the Japanese obviously do, because their only word for hot flash is hot flash. We can start that again if you'd like. Look, I think some people do, but the majority don't. And I think it's
What's
because
your belief?
I think it's a passage of our life, and I actually don't think that the symptoms that we get that are furious are right. I don't think they're right. And if I did think they were right, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, because I'm being woken up at night. I'm getting hot during the day. I'm a lot hotter than I've ever been. And I know everyone's going to laugh at me, but I actually gained 1.5 kilos, and I just went, what's happening here? My eating hasn't changed. My exercise hasn't changed. Why is this all of a sudden happening? So I decided to revisit the 4-phase fat elimination protocol, because when I first did it, I said, if you do it right, you should never have to do it again. But what's happened is that I'm obviously eating a food, that's my belief, this is my belief, I'm obviously eating something, or I have excess fat that's creating hormones, because remember, fat releases hormones. It releases around 20 plus hormones that we know of, but one of them is leptin. Leptin is the master hormone controller. So I'm like going, all right, well, so something's not working, and I've got to figure out what it is, because I'm not putting up with this. There's no way, I don't have people put up with this for more than a day, let alone, 2 years. And I was talking to a girlfriend this morning, we went for a swim, and I mentioned to her that I was on my protocol. She says, what do you need to go on the protocol for? And I went, for my health. This is the sign that says, this is a 2x4. This is the 2x4 hitting me going, are you listening yet? There's something that you're doing.
I love that about you. I love the fact that you're a healthy, beautiful, amazing woman, and yet you're still... It's almost like we're striving for perfection, or striving for being the better part of ourselves. And if there's a problem, how do we do that? So,
and I won't do drugs, so I go, well, what else have I got to do?
But even, can I ask you this, again, I don't know, excuse my ignorance, but a lot of people that go on to HR therapy and things like that, they are very disappointed, or there's issues, or a lot of side effects.
And some of the research is pointing to the fact that it increases breast cancer.
Yeah.
So I'm not prepared to, and I don't do it out of fear. I do this out of curiosity. Can I get rid of it? Is it possible? Is it a food that I'm consuming? Is it because I've got an extra weight on? Because I'm not like Anna, my coach, and this is my coach for changing habits, says, I think you could lose 3 kilos, Cyndi. And I went, oh, thanks, Anna.
Did she say that?
Oh, yeah, she was. And then the next day she says to me, I was a little bit hard, wasn't I? I went, no, I've been thinking about that I have to do it, because I have this sore finger that's just...
Yeah, you were talking about this before Christmas.
That's not going away. And now these hot flashes, and I just went, you know what? It's time for me to see if I can make a difference. And if I can make a difference, surely my body's not that much different to everybody else's. Yeah. Maybe then we can talk about, well, what is it that we need to look at? And could it be a food that I'm consuming that's causing the problem, or could it be that extra couple of kilos that may be increasing the amount of hormones that are being produced? I actually find this really interesting. I find myself a little bit of a time to have an experiment.
I was just about to say, I think you look at yourself like a bit of a test tube.
Yeah, I do. And you know what? I think you do too, Carren, because I watch you play with what works best for you, and I love the way you do that. You're always going, this isn't working, I'm going to go here. But you know what most people do? They just keep doing the same thing and they expect a different result.
Well, no, they end up going onto a different drug or a different thing, and then blame the doctor or blame the medicine, or seriously, they'll say, oh, that drug didn't work, or that didn't happen, or that wasn't good for me, or he said, she said. I think what's extraordinary about you both is that you are constantly educating yourselves. Yeah. And I think that's the beautiful thing, or I'd like to think we all think like that. But I just want to ask you, Carren, do you think that this whole menopause, because I'm going to say something interesting that my mother said to me. My mum's gone through menopause for over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And suffered with it badly, and did HRT and then went off that and has tried to do it naturally and everything. And she said to me one day, you won't have the problems I've got. You're much more in tune with your femininity than I ever have been.
Oh, wow, how beautiful.
Well, it was a lovely comment, but I thought it was an interesting comment based around our acknowledgement as women and the mindset we have around. I mean, we as in this society are constantly berating ourselves, never saying we're good enough, never thinking, is that the body's way? Oh, mind you, Cindy's not that. She doesn't sit there saying she's not good enough.
No, but I think that,
I beat yourself up?
Yeah, I don't beat myself up very often, but every now and then I go, why didn't I know that information? Why don't I know that? So I'm actually going, I need to learn more. And I think that's a form of beating up. You know, I should know that information. Why has it taken me 2 years to find that, and yet this person's been talking about it for 2 years, you know? Like, so... And I wouldn't... Like,
but see, there's the thing, you know, like... Everything happens if you look back and reflect, or not even look back, but if we reflect on one of the other podcasts we were talking about, you know, this transpersonal psychology, that there's this great mind orchestrating the symphony of life. You were never supposed to have the information 2 years ago. You were only supposed to have it now, and what's right is what's right. But we beat ourselves up because we live in a world that's very competitive, and the competition and the dynamic is very masculine, whereas the nurturing and the support is very feminine. And it's just the dynamics of the two genders. And we live in an environment that's heavily masculine, it's heavily patriarchal. My view on it, and I am no expert, and I only do what I feel is right for me. So listeners, please don't follow me. I'm really just saying that out loud. For me, I just do what's right for me in this context, in that in the very beginning, when I started going through it, I was devastated because I was 40. I think I was just past 40, and 41. Anyway, either or. And I was devastated because I felt like a part of me had been taken, and I was very resentful against Bali, and I was very resentful, and it was the first time that I actually felt resentment about being blown up, because I thought, you've robbed me, because of the stress that my body's been under. That has all contributed to the tumours that were in my ovaries. So I felt very resentful, and it took me a while, but then interestingly enough, and I'm looking at one of the books you've got here, Make Peace with Your Plate by Jess Ainscough. I coach Jess each month as her speaking coach. And we were creating a presentation, and the presentation that we created was Ending the War with Your Plate. And it was after I'd done that session with Jess that I started to look at where I was at war with myself and where I was at war with aspects of myself. And one of them was that. One of them was definitely the stage that I was going through. I was getting my period every 3 weeks, and it became every 2 weeks, and then it didn't come for 3 months, and then I got it like every week, and then it was just spotting, and then I got nothing for 3 months, and it was just this constant
craziness happening. Yeah.
Whereas I was bang on 28 days and lasted for 4 to 5 days all my life, really never any problem with it. But I decided that I was going to end the war with that, and in this case I've been a work in progress in all contexts. What I've become very aware of, and it's amazing that you should raise the point, Kim, in the femininity, because I've always been in a very masculine, and you can tell by the way I dress on stage and the way that I am always in a polished suit with the big shoulder blades and big shoulders.
Big shoulder blades.
Big shoulder pads and stuff.
I actually have always thought you to be...
Very feminine?
Very feminine. Princess feminine, with your makeup and your hair and your shoes and your... I am incredibly feminine, and I am incredibly girly. When it comes to business, I am ferocious. Not outside, and it's always been that way. I've always been incredibly feminine in the outside of business, but when it comes to business, I'm ferocious, and I'm a machine, and I am the world's most competitive creature you'll ever come across. So that's your very masculine.
Oh, for goodness sake, it's off the chart. It's off the chart. If anybody's ever come into the marketplace to compete with me, you want to hear what goes on between my 2 ears. They want to be very afraid. And I've always...
We won't be doing that.
I don't think I'll teach anyone to speak.
No, I won't either.
No.
Nor do mind stuff.
No. What else? I don't know anything about the mind, do you?
Nothing.
No. What mind?
We don't even know what it is.
Who are we?
What's my name again?
Who are we?
But it's been interesting. It's been really, really interesting, and I've always had great pride in that, thinking that's my edge. But it also is my Achilles heel, because it breaks me, and it really breaks me. Like, it bleeds me dry. And listen to my language. It breaks me and bleeds me dry.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And because that's always been my language, and it burns me out, and it makes me feel older than I am, that's always been my language. So when I decided to end the war with myself, around that, I stopped. Well, and I'm a work in progress, make no mistake about it, because I do still struggle with the dynamic aspect of myself around business. I am still highly competitive. And I'm working on that, and I'm very heavily working on bringing femininity into my day-to-day. And getting support and nurturing and stuff for myself. Yes, I am.
And we've been talking about that, and you are a work in progress on that one, because I have been seeing you down Malulabar Beach.
Oh, absolutely.
I have seen you take time out. Well done.
Yes, I have.
Well
Making
done.
real effort.
See how she is in 12 months before we give her a full pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see all 4 seasons.
A full menopause.
Menopause.
But since then, I've also, in terms of ending the war, I've ended the war with everything, or I'm really working on ending the war with everything, and I've ended the war with eating animals. I've ended the war with my food, because I was making my food my enemy. So I've ended the war with lots of things, and this is only for me. Since I've been vegan, my cycles are not so erratic. And this is just me. And I've been seeing the chiropractor twice a week and getting NET, the neuro-emotional technique strategy, twice a week. And I've been doing that now for, what am I on to, about 4 months? And my cycle now, I haven't had a period in, I'm up to, I think, about 31 days right now. Whereas before, it was every couple of weeks. Because I'd gone from being sporadic and all over the show to every couple of weeks. And it's been 31 days as of today. So I don't know what the answer is, but I'm very clear that if I get a hot sweat and it wakes me up in the night, I just go, thanks for letting me know I'm alive. And then I go back to sleep. I'll mop up the sweat and I'll change the damn sheets in the morning, and I'll go through that throughout the course of the day. And I've always got either I drink gallons of water because I'm hot through the day. And even, the last winter, I was hot. There were times when I was freezing, but I was hot. So, but I'm not going to be at war with it. And whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. I don't know what else to do.
But you know what?
I'm not an expert.
I think it is right. And I would like to quote a very dear friend of mine by the name of Carren Smith.
Oh.
Who says everything's perfect. And so everything that you were thinking and went through and had to endure, or it's all perfect. And if it didn't happen, I mean, if it wasn't meant to happen, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And it's all about you becoming a better person. And I always have that in my head when you. When I first heard you say that, I would say, well, this is the way it's meant to be. I can't change this. Well, I can't change it because it's in the past. But what can I do to improve it? But when you see that, when you realise everything's perfection and you see the thread of the tapestry, as we talked about last week with Anina Morjani, when you see the thread of the tapestry, all of these things are we're meant, what's that new science you were telling us about,
transpersonal psychology.
And everything you touch and weave through actually forms your life and everybody else's lives around you. And think about how many people we actually do touch. So, me going through this menopause, if I had breezed through this, I probably would never write about it.
Or you would have thought everyone else was a wuss.
Yes, exactly.
As is her way.
Absolutely.
But I don't anymore. Actually, it's really interesting how it's changed since I've gone on. I'm only on day 4 of P2. So I'm only, just in the beginning of it. But from going from 3 hot flashes a night and waking me up, I'm down to 1.
Ah, wow.
Down to 1. My first one on the first night of the elimination, so going into day 2 and on to day 1, oh my gosh, it woke me up for half an hour. I'm like going,
hello,
it's getting worse.
So
it's not getting better. I am too, because I was tossing.
Hang on, aren't we staying somewhere together in the same room?
Yeah, next week.
Oh, we are too.
Do you know what? You're going to have both of us.
A peri and a minnow. Right.
Mind you, I read a book by Marianne Williamson called The Age of Miracles, and it's about menopausal women, and she really refers to it as our phases of enlightenment. And I don't know about you, but certainly for me, I've never felt more enlightened. over the last couple of years. I felt like the greatest knowledge, the greatest experience of the grandness of life has been revealed.
Does it make you question and challenge things because we go through these changes? Like when you think about it, when the body's challenged in a way, you start searching, educating yourself, becoming more.
That.
No,
So maybe menopause isn't a bad thing.
No, maybe it's not, and maybe it will take me to another point of feeling great. Like I know when I first did the 4-phase fat elimination protocol, I was jumping out of my skin, and so was my brain. Don't know about my mind because I didn't know where that was. So it could be out of my skin.
That's good.
You know, we need a bumper sticker up for a chat. Where's my mind? I don't know.
Well, we don't. We actually don't know it's in our skin. It could be
Where's
out
my
there.
mind? Never mind.
Can somebody who does stickers make that a sticker? Where's my mind?
Never mind.
Oh, can somebody please do that and just put a little up for a chat? It's got to be pink with white writing. Can somebody please make that and send us 1,000?
But what I find
awesome.
what I find really interesting is that my first sign and symptom was my little finger. I wasn't having any menopausal problems, and now the 2x4s come in, and I think a lot of people forget to look at their little signs and symptoms and realise that it's a 2x4, and it might only be a little 2x4, but it was a 2x4, and I was dealing with it. It didn't bother me, you know. The only time it bothered me in the morning when I crunched it down to feel whether it was sore or not. Actually, that's less sore.
Ah, look at that.
That is less sore. That's interesting. Anyway, I'll tell you more as we go on. I'll make sure I let people know.
So you're in phase 2.
I'm only in phase 2 and I'm only up to day 4. And it's really interesting. The second time, I always said, I'm never doing it again. Remember Kim and I did it together, you know. I said, I'm never doing it again. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. It's a breeze. Like right now, the second time around, because I know what's happening, I know all about it, and there was a real purpose why I did it then, but there's a real purpose why I'm doing it now, and all it is elimination. So if people are wondering what this is and they've not heard of it before, it's really an elimination. So we're just eliminating many foods, and we're just reduced to just a few foods, and then in 3 weeks or when this finishes, I'll start to add foods back in and just see what is causing it.
So what are some of the things we could give advice on what to do you think? Like, what are some of the things that you are doing? If you were going to say to someone, have you tried this? So one of them obviously is do the HCG.
Well, we'll do an elimination, yeah. So you could do the hunter-gatherer one, or you could do the HCG. If you're really like me, and I only have 3 kilos to lose.
But I actually think the protocol, particularly with eliminating all grain, most sugar,
all dairy,
I think.
And when we're saying most sugar, let's just make that clear. There is no sugar. There's only fruit. So that's that sugar.
Well, I just have a different mindset around the word sugar now, because I know that fruit is sugar. So that's, like for me, understanding that to me the HCG is, I don't even look at it as a weight loss protocol anymore. I look at it definitely as a health
detox.
And a detox protocol.
Definitely
detox, because it's only when you introduce new foods do you notice change, and it's only when we're clear do we actually notice the irritation. So I think it's a very powerful thing to do, and I'd even recommend women like me. That's probably why I loved the 8-week sugar detox I did. In a way, it was very HCG, except I could exercise.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat more. In fact, I probably ate less.
So you ate less than the minimum amount, 100 grams of meat.
Honey, I didn't have dinner. You were allowed 50 grams of protein at night.
Oh gosh, no.
So, and that was only meat, no salad.
So you'd survive, I wouldn't. Karen would survive, I wouldn't.
No, she wouldn't. That's what meat.
No, that's what I mean. You're not even allowed it, though.
No. So I'm just saying, what I think is interesting, you said it just before, don't do what I say. Like, I'm just saying that I think it's interesting the 3 of us take on different approaches, and I think that's the beauty of it, is trying to find and listen to ways that work for others. So someone like me that loves to work out and train and run long distance, that worked for me.
Yeah.
It still worked for me losing weight on the HCG, but what I learned more out of the HCG was that mind clarity, which I also got on the sugar detox, that unbelievable inspirational thoughts and people say you're glowing.
That
and
euphoria.
That's euphoria.
But it frustrated you. I must admit, it frustrated you, the protocol.
Which
Whereas the HCG one, my full-face fat elimination.
Oh, only because I was told I couldn't have it. I think it was a mindset.
Well, but
Never
then
mind.
I watched you do that 8-week one, and even though you would say, oh, I just did this, I shouldn't have done that, I was pretty amazed that you stuck with that for that 8-week period.
With such enthusiasm.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She did have, and then now we look at Carren, what she's doing.
Oh, I know. And I'm sitting here thinking, could I do what Kaz is doing? And I don't think this is about what you should or shouldn't do. Those
No,
of you
it's
listening.
what's right for you.
I think the biggest thing I got out of that, someone emailed me the other day and said, could you please tell me all the details of what you did for the 8-week sugar detox? I'd really like to do it. Da, 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 da. Do you think I could do this? Do you think I could do that? And I went back going, oh, honey, I am such a work in progress. It's not funny.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of messages just lately because I've been posting lots of stuff on my Facebook page about, I made raw sushi. Oh, it's fabulous. Anyway, so I know. Lots of people have been wanting my eating plan.
Yes.
I don't have an eating plan. Please don't follow me because really it's about working out what's best for everybody.
And it
for
is.
ourselves.
And I've watched you really, really work through these last couple of years what's working for you. And obviously you will find what works for you. And many people, they don't want to go through what you've been through. They don't want to have to...
the trial and error.
The trials and errors. But that's what it is in the end. I think there is a basis. And the basis is real food.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
All
it.
three of us are on that.
For
We're all on
sure.
that basis. We're all about real
Absolutely.
food. And we're all about clean food.
And ethical.
And ethical and sustainable food. So we're all on that. But it's really interesting that I am definitely the meat eater in the family.
You can have that, sweetie.
Yeah, and you and Kimmy is somewhere between Carren and I, because Karen's vegan, complete vegan.
And raw.
And raw, raw vegan and fruitarian even.
Yeah.
She's becoming the fruitarian with a little bit of green at the end. So I actually find it intriguing that the three of us do these podcasts and yet we have totally different eating styles.
It's amazing, isn't it?
really
Actually, I said
is.
that to you the other day. I said, I wonder how it all goes. Like, how do our listeners actually feel about the fact that there's such difference in us? And you were actually very supportive, love. You're very for it.
I think that having three different views, it just means that we're not sounding judgmental of any one or anything. We're embracing all, but also you're being an amazing beacon of light for people out there that don't want to eat meat and don't want to do that stuff, and to know that there's a way of doing it that feels good and it's.
But I do want to say that I'm no expert on it, though. I really want to be clear about
is?
that. Cindy.
Yeah, but even Cyndi, you just heard her before saying how she feels like she wishes she'd known that 2 years ago. She doesn't even think she's
I remember
an expert.
I was a vegetarian for 16 years. So I'm a work in progress. I do have a lot of knowledge on food because
Cindy's both of you have an expertise in research.
Yes.
Like you're both very, very good at researching.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes. No. High five to that.
We do. We read a lot, I must admit. But so do you.
Well, I do read a lot, but it doesn't stay in. Really.
You are so funny with that.
It goes in one ear. I can repeat it once and then it's gone.
No, actually, you can
Never
repeat
mind.
it 10 times.
My favourite line now is never mind because I never had one.
So where's your mind?
No, but I'm
It's
okay
not in your
with that
skin.
now. I'm okay. She just said it's okay. I'm good with it now. I'm embracing my never mind. I'm a never land.
But that's. Can we go and get that as a tattoo, all three of us? Never mind. I think that's awesome.
Maybe that's the title of this podcast. Never mind.
Yeah. What mind? Never mind.
But what I want to ask you, Kaz, is do you think you've reached euphoria with what you're doing? Cyndi, do you think you've reached euphoria? Because as far as understanding this with menopause, bringing it back from it, is it just diet, do you both think? Or is it something bigger and grander?
Well, it has to be something bigger and grander. It's not just diet. It's, like I have such a huge belief in food.
You've had children. You haven't had children.
Yeah,
Does that
yeah.
have a part to play with menopause?
Who knows?
Who knows? And everybody's different. Like I know someone who's had 3 children and has been going as long as you have, Carren, for 2.5 years, and she's like really in a bad way with it. But she won't do drugs, but she won't do diet either. I tried to talk her into that, but anyway.
You've got to do, like if you want it to be different,
Is she complaining?
you can't do the same thing and expect things to be different.
Not really. She never complains. She just told me about it because I asked her. I said, "Have you been going through menopause?" And then it's when you ask the question that people start to tell you what's happening to them. and with everything. Look, I
What
think
would you
we're
say
all
to your
at work.
girls? What would you say to your girls, or to women in their 30s who are going to approach menopause? There must be some fundamental or foundation type of things that you would both believe would be a good place. Like, for instance, get off junk food. Like, I mean, I'm just trying to say to you both, you know, is it about the femininity? Is
But
it about
I'm not on
journalising?
junk food, and why am I getting it?
No, I know, but
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. So, would you say definitely? But definitely for you, it would be that would definitely be something at least.
Yeah, look, definitely. But why, you know, why I eat so cleanly, and I have.
Do you both have a lot of sex?
Did she
ask us that question?
And neither of us know what to say.
No. We're not going to answer her one bit because it will incriminate us.
That means no.
Because I know I have friends, Cindy, who listen to this and they go tell Matt everything I say. Matt gets Facebook
Let's just say, on Anzac Day, lest we forget.
You've said that a couple of times. But I'd be interested. Well, this is why we need Cheryl, because
Because at least she'll talk about how many times she gets it.
But you know,
But she's not married.
Well, she probably gets it more than everybody. Then. she's probably rocking that ring.
you know, does it help to be? You know, are there? You've got to give me some fundamentals, girls, because I'm
Okay, so
getting there.
here's my thought on it.
Okay.
I would say relax. I would say chill, honey bunny, chill. I would also say do what Cindy's doing in terms of eliminating foods and then introducing and seeing how that works. I certainly did that. But I made peace with myself and I made peace with everything in my life because of the way that I see things is how we do one thing is how we do everything. So if I was at war with my menopause or perimenopause, I was going to be at war with lots of things. And it was true. When I looked at the things that I was at war with, I'm at war with my business because it better be a damn success. So I go to war to fight a battle every day. And I'm at war with lots of different things. Well, I was at war with lots of different things because I will fight tooth and nail and I will never give up. And I don't care how many times I fail, I just will never give up. So my mindset was about being at war with things as opposed to being at peace with things and being with things. It doesn't mean I don't have to have them in my life, just being at peace with them rather than getting up to fight the good fight. And for me, certainly that process has changed the way that I see myself, and that process has changed in terms of the way that I interact. And I'm a work in progress with the femininity in business. I'm definitely feminine outside of business, but in business, femininity is something that I'm really working on. And this year's programs are all Epic Entrepreneur is all about the feminine. Whether you're a man or you're a woman, it's still all about bringing femininity because there's balance.
Oh, do I have a new seminar to go to?
You do. It's in July.
yay.
What are the dates?
Oh, yeah, what are the
24th
dates?
through to the 26th of July.
Oh, I'm coming. I'll put those
I'll be
dates
there.
down.
And it's a...
Is it catered?
It will be...
It'll be vegan, raw vegan. No, she'll be fruitarian by then. It'll all be fruit. Bring some chicken.
Absolutely. It'll be on the Sunshine Coast too. So yes, I would say relax. I would say check the diet, but I would also check the things that you're at war with and
look, I think
find
That's a
feminine
really good point.
because femininity is nurturing and it's supporting.
But this is why
So
I would love to add to it doing rituals. Lighting a candle,
Absolutely.
putting a
Yes.
beautiful placemat down when you have your meal. I just set up my whole desk. Poor Danny. It was his desk, but I figured he's not at home anymore.
Bugger
much.
him.
So out has gone all the cricket stuff. Anything masculine has gone.
of course it's all there, isn't it?
And my desk stuff is now pretty and girly, and I've even got an owl there reminding me of the wisdom in me. I've got a little bunch of flowers. I've got my vaporizer there. I've got a white
I just don't know
light.
if I could go there.
Oh no, it's beautiful. It's so little.
I think yours is pretty feminine.
My office?
No, it's not.
My office is
It's cleaner than mine.
It's clean.
Mine's just clutter
Clean
everywhere.
does not mean feminine.
clean for me. Clean, clinical. Not a
Which
photo.
is not a bad thing, though.
Not a photo. Not a bit of colour.
Yeah, but you got
Not a
butterflies.
picture.
Yeah, but you got butterflies.
I don't have butterflies. Show me a butterfly in
You
my
had that
office.
big butterfly on the wall. Has it gone?
Have you just made
Your
it
dad.
disappear?
You had the big butterfly. Your dad.
Oh
gave
yes,
you.
no, that's in another room.
Sorry, Dad. It's gone.
No, that's in another room.
But bring it back.
Yeah. Work in progress. Work in progress.
We will only attend the 24th to the 26th of July when we see some femininity going on in that office.
Well, I've got the vaporizer. Yes,
Do you know we teach what we need to learn?
Absolutely. That's exactly my point. And I make no bones about that.
Yeah.
We teach what we need to learn.
I can hardly wait because I love going to yours. It's so good.
Okay, so
It's an experiential event too.
Oh, wonderful.
So be prepared to live fearlessly.
Yay.
Yes, be prepared to live fearlessly.
What else would you girls recommend?
Well, I actually agree with you. Chill. Just chill. What else did you say? Chill and...
Chill, honey bunny. Chill.
Yeah. Because
Listeners, are you noting that I actually would like that to be a mirror reflection of their words? Because I ain't got no problem about menopause at all. I haven't hit there yet. But these two...
Well, no, the thing is that if we do everything that we can to be healthy, then when we hit menopause, if we do have an issue, then we need to look at, well, what is it that I need to deal with? And when you get to the point where you can't take it any longer and you're thinking, I need drugs, that's when you might need to do something. And I must have got to that point because... I had minor symptoms of it and then they just got stronger and stronger and my finger got sorer and sorer. And that's when I went, I can't live like this.
So your piece of advice would be?
My piece of advice is...
Listen to any whispers?
Listen to whispers, but as you know, it's like the rest of your life, we do it all the same. I'm the type of person is that I can't imagine it until I experience it. I really can't. And I remember as a young girl, and here we go back to fear again, but as a young girl being very fearful of losing my mother. Very fearful of losing my mother. If I heard an ambulance when she was out, I would go, where's my mum? This is before I had children.
Wow.
I always worried about my mum and my dad, but more my mum. And then when I lost her, I didn't know what... I thought I knew what that was going to feel like, but I actually didn't know what that was going to feel like because it felt very different to what I thought it was going to feel like. So I look at menopause exactly the same, is that I didn't know what it was going to feel like until I got there, and I wasn't prepared to put up with what's happening. So I'll do something about it. So it's about taking each step of your life as it comes, such as puberty happens, and then I didn't know what being pregnant was about. I didn't know what giving birth was. I remember my first baby, giving birth to my first baby and thinking, that's what they're all talking about.
I thought the same thing.
Exactly. You're in a club now.
I actually thought they were all wusses. No, seriously. I was only in the first stage of labour and I thought, oh, this is labour.
Oh, you weren't in transition. No. No. Whereas, and so I'm very much an experiential.
Do you remember when we had Cyndi? Do you remember when we had Cyndi on?
That was just
She
beautiful.
talked about the ebb and flow of life. So I would imagine if we look at menopause in the same way, there is a pushing and a pulling. There's a pain and a joy. There's a change and a stagnant. It's constantly evolving. I guess it's also about the way in which you approach it. And for some, my only concern...
Or think about it as well. Do you see it as a passage to power? That was the name of the book, Passage to Power by Julie Kenton.
Yeah. No, Leslie Kenton.
Leslie Kenton, thank you.
Beautiful
Passage to Power.
Yeah, Leslie Kenton.
That's right. And whether you view it as a passage to power, or whether you view it as, oh my gosh, I'm getting old, it's the end of my life, I'm cribbling up and I'm becoming an old...
As opposed to moist.
We're both under the table, just in case anyone wanted to know what that
I was
thing
talking more
was.
about the skin, like looking dried and wrinkled.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
You're right. We know where your mind. We know where her mind is.
We know.
We actually do in the gutter.
If you're looking for it, it's out
in the gutter.
Never mind.
That's so funny.
So mine is.
Yeah.
Do the best you can with looking after yourself, and when a crisis comes or something, a challenge comes, don't see it as something, oh my gosh, see it as, okay, this is a challenge, this is something I've got to deal with, how am I going to deal with it, this is the tools and information.
Do you involve your men in this process? So they understand?
Yes, I throw the doona on my husband and I put the fan on me.
Are they grumpy with it?
Not at all. No, there's no grumpiness whatsoever.
No, so that's another thing. Like, how do you relate to your men about this? Is it important to talk about it?
He's just wrapped now that I like the window open.
Well, it's funny you should say that because Matt is the direct opposite. Matt doesn't like breezes when he's sleeping.
No, neither does Dan.
And Matt has to sleep by the window. It's just a rule. Wherever we go, wherever there's a window, he's got to be by the window.
But if he doesn't like a breeze, why does he want the window?
I don't know.
So he can jump.
It's just, I think it is. I think it's that.
Okay.
But
When she's annoying him.
He's got to be by the window. So I'm just desperately gagging for air. So we've got the fan on. He's like, "Do we need the fan on? Do we?" "Oh, yeah, we need the fan on. We so need the fan on." I go, "Can you open the curtain too?" And he goes, "No, because it's blowing right on my back."
Aren't they funny?
Yeah. So for him, it's the direct opposite, which is, it's just, God bless him. He's such a sweet, sweet boy. But he's, like Matt's only 38.
Oh, you cougar, you.
Oh, I know. Stop it.
Oh, boy.
I didn't know you were a cougar.
Yeah, I'm a coogie.
Maddie,
Coogie Kazza.
Maddie, get the everyday body lotion, love. It'll keep you going.
Yeah, so I've got to tell him about all the menopausal symptoms, or perimenopausal symptoms, and he's like, "Oh, hun, I don't know. Do I really need to know about any of that? Just try and be a bit nice."
Hey, I love what Ali Mooney used to do to tell. Remember Ali Mooney?
Oh, yeah.
What did she used to say to her husband? Sorry, because you reminded me of it.
Who's Ellie Mooney? Why do I know
she
her?
is the girl I learnt all the personality stuff
And
off
she was a
originally.
co-author of Read My Lips.
She's just
She's hysterical.
okay.
But
she wrote a book called Pressing the Right Buttons. So she's the first one that introduced me to the personality work. She is amazing. Personalityplus.co.nz if you want to look her up. She's beautiful.
But she didn't tell her husband that she was going through menopause or that she had gone through it 15 years previously. She just cycled every month.
Oh, clever girl. Clever girl.
She would just tell him, "Oh, sorry, darling," but
For 15 years, she hadn't had a cycle.
So I think that's very clever. Okay, so as of this podcast, and people, if you breathe a word of it, this is strictly between us. As of this podcast,
Do not tell Ali Mooney's husband.
We need to tell you that.
or mine, and I'm still getting my cycle every 2 weeks. Can we just say that? I will be perimenopausal
He
for the
had
next
this
20
thing
years.
whenever because they started travelling quite a lot, and he has this thing. The minute you're staying in a hotel, it's on.
Oh,
So she just kept saying, "It's got 15 years."
And as far as we know, we haven't seen her for about 5 years. She's probably still saying
that's
it.
hysterically funny.
It is.
Oh, that's just hilarious.
All right, so we're going to wind up, but let's
just
wind it up by really talking about
What about some of the books to read that you'd recommend, or things you've looked up?
Like Passage to Power is an old book but a goodie.
And definitely Dr.
Cheryl Selman's Hormone Heresy, I think, is absolutely brilliant.
Marianne Williamson's Age of Miracles.
Age of Miracles. So there's 3 books to start with. And as far as what do I do when I get these symptoms, you can go to traditional treatments, which is HRT, or you can go, right, I'm going to do something about this. Is it because I have some weight on me that needs to go? Because remember, fat releases the hormones. Do I need to eliminate a food for some period of time? And it might only be for a period of time. It doesn't mean you need to eliminate it for the rest of your life. It may be just to get you through this cycles. Look, to me it's a trial and error because everybody's different. Not HRT doesn't work for everybody. Progesterone cream doesn't work for everybody. There are many things that we can
Anna's
look
cream
at.
is another
Anna's
thing.
Yam, like I love Anna's Yam, and it worked for me for many years because I had not cysts, but lumpy breasts, I'll call them, because I can't remember the exact name for it. But I had lumpy breasts. When I used Anna's Yam, I never had lumpy breasts again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I used Anna's Yam.
Well, Danny presented me with an article about 15 years ago saying that the more breasts are massaged, the less likely chance
Of
they
breast
would
cancer.
You would have breast cancer. Of
course he does.
He's been trying to tell me that for years.
Yes, I know.
So he's very happy to rub in Anna's Yam cream. Anyway.
On his breast?
On his animal. Dr. Christiane Northrup would have a good book, wouldn't she?
But you know what? When I started to look into this, there is no, as far as I can see, they don't know what causes them.
No. There's no.
But they do
But she's
know
got
that
beautiful book.
antidepressants...
She's got that book, Woman's Wisdom.
Women's wisdom. I would, Christiana Northrup would be wonderful. But I do know this, is that they know that antidepressants stop hot flashes.
Antidepressants.
Yeah. So I was reading about it, and it was all drugs that they talked about. So antidepressants, HRT in some instances, and they talked about a couple of other things. But if you go and look at the research on Professor Google, and just go and see it, and you can get into PubMed. You know, you don't have to stay just in the normal stuff. You can actually get into the research. They actually don't really know. They have ideas of what might be causing it, but they don't know what's causing it. But it has to have something to do with the hypothalamus and the hormones for them to work just like that. The hormones have to be connecting to the hypothalamus. So there's a nervous system component to this. So for me, it's chiropractic care to get the nervous system working right.
Exercise?
Definitely. Get out there and do some movement of some sort. Really consider what you're eating.
Can I add one in?
Yes, go for it.
That I've had a number of people email me and say it's helped, and I don't know how but my beautiful hormone balance.
I've been using that like there's no tomorrow.
The essential oil. The essential oil of rose is an amazing oil for going through menopause and femininity and going through menopause.
And it also has the highest vibrational frequency.
And I know that it's $450 a bottle, but I'm telling you, I wear rose most days, and each time
she has no menopause.
Look, I'm amazing for 68.
You do.
But I'm just saying that, if you're looking for alternatives, then I just know that essential oils are a beautiful another ritual to engage. At least bring them into your daily body life and add your magnesium into that, because magnesium is what's helping with the cell communication.
Magnesium. I'd forgotten about the magnesium.
Definitely. I'd be putting, if I was going through menopause, I know that's one thing I would be doing 2, 3, 4 times a day.
Can I use that it's got an oil?
Yes, you can use it on the HCG.
On that. Okay, good. I know I've been using the jojoba, but I haven't.
No, you can use magnesium. It's not an oil. It's actually a salt.
All right,
so,
good.
But I'd be using those kind of rituals. And for me, really embracing that femininity, making my bedroom a boudoir, like really seriously, making it pretty, girly it up a bit, like identify, get in with that.
Okay, well, my bedroom is actually incredibly masculine.
Yeah, I know it is.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been in there.
It is, isn't it?
It needs a dress up. We're going out.
Okay. Can you come over?
Yes. I think we need to go to some sort of beautiful French.
We need to do mine too then.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
because mine's very masculine too.
It bloody is. The pair of you.
Yeah.
Have you seen mine?
Yeah, I have.
It's got beautiful candles and lights and...
Okay, so we need to do that. Can we have a girly day and go do that? And can you bring me some rose oil?
Yeah, rose oil, to me, I've had...
Just invoice me for that?
Again... Seriously, no joke. I've had women email me saying, now it's not for again, I don't know if it's helped everybody.
And there is no panacea. We're just giving ideas of what we can do.
But I think that the rose oil would make me feel feminine.
It does.
So whether
while you're working, put your rose oil on.
Yes. Right.
And I think another
rose hormone balance, because it's got rose oil in it as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Definitely have that going in your office when you're working, just to help bring out. Because the thing is, if we're not embracing the creativity, the right side, the softness, the femininity of ourselves, then you're not giving your business and all of us that follow you the fullest potential of who you are.
Totes agree, which is why I've been very focused on it. But yes, I do need to put that in my oil burner that changes colour as it burns.
Yeah, I like that one.
It's the same as yours, actually.
Mine's
the same as that.
We've been here a while, have we? And I think the other thing is take some time out.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think, you don't take time out, Karen, although you are starting to. See, my mornings are my ritual, and that's part of I do my body boosting, of course, in amongst all of that. But and I feel so good with that ritual of what I do, and that is, I get up, I go for exercise, I do some other things in between, and then go for my exercise and swim. And then come back and do my breakfasts. And
can I just say to both of you, you are my heroes, because even going through this, I don't ever hear either of you complain, and yet there's a lot of women and men out there that complain about menopause, and I just want to honour you both that you search rather than complain. And for me as an observer, it is beautiful to watch people investigate and educate rather than complicate and become very upset and angry and annoyed and get frustrated with it. Like, to me, don't complain, don't complicate it, don't become frustrated by it. This is a gift, an opportunity, a learning.
Well, in the life that we live, to follow what you're saying, in the life that we live today, it's part of it. It's not a part of it, and what we resist persists. So what's the point of trying to resist it and pretend it's not happening? Because there's no alternative in the life that we live in today's society. So embrace it and then do what you can to enhance the experience for yourself.
And then, if you think that by doing the same thing as what you're doing today and you have these issues and you continue to do them and you expect a different result, then you're delusional.
Insane.
Delusional.
Yeah.
Insane, whatever you want to say.
Absolutely.
So you have to make changes in your life, and we've given you some examples of making change in your life, but all you have to do is go to our websites and really have a look at, because the three of us are specialists in three major areas of people's lives, and I think if they go to all those areas, it can make a really big difference.
It's a holistic approach.
And I just want to say that you just did a pearler, Kimmy. You said investigate and educate, don't complicate.
And complain.
Don't complain and
Investigate and educate, don't complain and
Complicate.
complicate. For some reason, I wrote it down wrong. It was very clear. Okay, don't investigate and educate, don't complain and complicate. I love it.
And it's almost as good as your "Where's my mind?" Never mind.
Today's been a pearler. See, this is what happens when you're not peri or menopausal. You actually have quite clarity.
Wherever that mind might be.
She's so on fire today. I don't know.
And I've been placing just on my on Instagram and like Chocolate for Women page, I'm putting up there a what a day, a 5 to 10 minute workout a day.
Yeah,
so
I've got to start.
if you don't know what to do, then follow that. If you're not sure, then look at the epic mindset stuff that we can create through our minds and awareness and the femininity.
That's Epic Entrepreneur.
One?
Epic Entrepreneur. All the W's.KarenSmith.com.
You did that so well.
And full fat elimination protocol, changinghabits.com.au.
And 28 with the number 8.com.
For rose oil and hormone balance.
And make it
Are you
easier.
stocked up on your rose oil?
Yeah,
better be.
but sometimes you've got to allow a 2-week delivery because we can only stock a small amount.
I'm not waiting 2 weeks.
You've got the one that's in stock then, all right. But there is
It's not what you know, people. It's who.
So you only have a couple of days to get more rose oil in because you know what's going to happen.
I would be, if seriously, with the results that I've had with a number of women, that's one thing I'd be going for, and I'm not just saying that, it is one I'd be looking at.
Right, I've got a few pointers right now that I'm going to include in what I'm doing. But what we'll do is as the weeks go past, I'll let everybody know, how we're going. So next week we are interviewing Shani and Julius.
Oh, yes.
So we probably won't discuss that then, but we'll discuss it the week after.
Yeah,
and we'll
sounds
we'll
good.
talk about what you're doing, and how that's changed, and we'll do it very, very quickly. Now, just one more thing. Last week we did talk about lead in aluminium cans. And I just think it's really good that if someone was listening to last week and they'd heard that conversation, I had never heard of it, but Kim had heard something on Facebook. Somebody had said to her, aren't you scared of the lead in aluminium cans? What I could find was that they used to seal the can in the old days with lead, and that caused lead poisoning, but there's no lead now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought there was more of an issue with the
plastic.
the BH.
So that's just a lead on from last week because we had a little conversation about that, and I just think it's really important that people, we do finish conversations.
Yes, we do tie the loop. On that note.
On that note.
On that note, thanks for joining us here on today's podcast. It's been an absolute treat. We love talking about all things menopause and old people. So,
Dried up, wrinkled prunes.
did you hear what she said? Dried up, wrinkled prunes. Nasty. I think you're gonna get a run on the body moisturiser too, Swarry.
Honey, it's extraordinary, I've been told.
Skanky tart. So if you want to make a comment about Kim and her skankiness or anything that we've spoken about today, join us on Facebook at allthews.facebook.com/up for a chat. Also, you can join us on thewellnesscouch.com/up for a chat. And it's been awesome to share today with you. So join us here next week and become part of the ripple effect that's changing the world.
This has been a production of TheWellnessCouch.com. Check us out on Facebook and join in the conversation on Facebook.com/The Wellness Couch. Subscribe to each show on iTunes and check us out on Twitter. The Wellness Couch, streaming wellness into your lives. Whilst the Wellness Couch presenter endeavor to provide accurate and helpful information to their listeners, these podcasts cannot take into account individual circumstances and are not intended to be a substitute for health and medical advice from a qualified health professional. You should always seek the advice of a qualified health professional before acting on any of the information provided by any of the Wellness Couch podcasts.